Hello everybody, welcome back to Agrarian Skies 2. I spent a little bit of time in between episodes. As I said last time, I don't want to spend the whole episode on the ore processor again. It's one of my favorite pieces of machinery to get running, and I did spend quite a bit of time streamlining it in between episodes. I want to show it to you quickly and then do something else this episode. Basically, I ended up taking the whole thing apart and rebuilding it. Doubled the lava production. I think I need to double it again because I'm basically using it as quick as it can produce it, just into 2 magmatic dynamos. They are full, but also need more power. So I'm going to work on that a bit. But let's go through what this thing's doing. So I've got 2 igneous extruders feeding into 6 pulverizers, and they're arranged this way just for my own interest to help me remember what they're doing. The igneous extruders feed them on the right. This column makes gravel, right? Cobbled gravel. Their secondary outputs go to the back. I suppose I could rebuild it so that everything goes over. Yeah, we could do that. That would work. No, that wouldn't necessarily work because it. I don't know. Not important. It works now. Anyway, primary and secondary outputs end up into this array of barrels. The gravel becomes sand, so 3 units producing gravel, 2 units producing sand from that, 1 unit producing dust from that. So you should get about equal proportions of gravel, sand, and dust. You know, a little bit more of the sand and dust just because of the secondary outputs, and that will build over time. So it ends up in these 3 barrels. So the 3 barrels basically let you sort out gravel, sand, dust. There we go. They come off the back into 3 automatic sieves on top of each other, right? This one obviously doing dust, sand, gravel. And you can watch stuff comes out immediately, well, not quite immediately, but quickly gets unloaded into this set of pipes. I've got servos installed all over. Let's view this from this side. So this chest has filters attached. I had to route it like this because these basic filters can only do 3 things. Whitelisted, so each of these does 3 ores. There's 9 ores. You end up with all the broken ore bits in here. The broken ore bits go through the auto packager and become ore gravel, goes into the hammerer, and comes right back into this distribution pipe. At which point, that and whatever came off the sand goes in here as crushed ore, auto-packed into ore sand, hammered into powdered ores, right? Which are then filtered. The same filtering setup in all cases. It goes through the auto packager and becomes ore dust here. The ore dust comes down here through the pulverizers, ends up in this chest. Now this is an interesting one. Because of just the intricacies of how mods work together, the aluminum ore dust would not go through the pulverizer. There wasn't a pulverized form. If we look at it, let's see, iron, obsidian, gold, copper, tin, metal, shiny, ferrous, lead, right? No aluminum. So it wouldn't load in. It wouldn't pick it up, and it was all just getting stuck right here. But that aluminum can still be made into ingots. So this is just whitelist filtering the aluminum ore dust, and it comes through here. These are all induction smelters. This is just a redstone furnace. I'm thinking I'm going to replace these with just redstone furnaces because I don't think the induction smelters are really giving me anything. And the induction smelters also mean that I have to have this system over here to make sand to be a flux. I also need to do something with this dust. That's one of the things I want to build in this episode is a system to make clay off of that. That'll be fun. So I want to make a clay generator and a dirt generator in this episode. So how do we do that? Well, we've got dust coming in, right? It's coming off the secondary output from the gravel to sand production. And in this area, we can dump it through a barrel of water and get clay out of it. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to need some item ducts. We're going to need some servos. I'm going to need more servos than that. That's a hardened servo. I'll go back over here. When I was testing, I noticed that, let's see, is it this one? One of these was getting backed up, so I ended up replacing it with a hardened servo, which just has a better flow rate. Anyway, so we need to feed that dust into water barrels to get to get clay from the dust. To do that, one of the first things we need to make is an aqueous accumulator, and we're also going to need some more servos. So let's see what we need to make servos. We're going to need iron nuggets, iron, redstone, and glass. I don't have any of that, so let's go get some. And you can see this has only been running for a little while, and already lots of ingots of metal, right? Lots of other products. This is definitely good. One other little bit. There's a dense node here. I'll show you how to make one of those in a minute. This chest behind this dense node basically means anything that can't find a home elsewhere in the system will end up in the chest. So if anything odd that I haven't accounted for pops out, it'll end up there. So, where was I? Yes, the iron. Let's get 3 ingots of iron. Let's get 5, 7. We'll make 6 servos. 3 redstone. 3 glass. And now we have more servos. Perfect. Let's put those in there just because we'll need them in a little bit, I guess. Alright, we're going to need, we've got 4 item ducts. That's probably, yeah, that should be plenty. And then we will need some barrels. I think I stored them. Yeah, I put a couple over here. I'm just going to do 2 for this. The last thing we need, 2 things. I can use the hardened fluid ducts just to be common. We're going to need some an aqueous accumulator. This is a cool block that basically gives you water. We need 2 copper gears, a pneumatic servo, a machine frame, bucket, more glass. The servo is iron, redstone, and glass. So let's go get some materials. We need 2 glass for the servo. We need 2 glass for the accumulator. And we need 4 glass for the machine frame. We will need 4 tin for the machine frame, along with 4 iron. We will need a bucket. 3 aluminum will do that. We need 2 more iron for the pneumatic servo, and we need 2 copper gears, which is 8 ingots of copper. Perfect. First off, we'll toss the copper in, let that get going while we build the I didn't get the redstone. Oops. Oh. There we go. There's the pneumatic servo. The copper gears go there. Machine frame glass and a bucket. Okay, we've got our copper, we've got our gear pattern there. Did I only get 3 tin? I meant to get 4 tin. Well, let's go get some more. And this machine frame. That machine frame pattern is one that built a lot of before you get some automation. That's not what I wanted. There we go. And now I have an aqueous accumulator. So let's go build something. We'll move that in one there. Okay, item duct. Now I'm going to remove that. And of course we need one more item duct. Oh well. Which is simply tin, lead, and tin. There we go. So I'm putting this together just because I like having a big wall of materials. There's no real reason that this has to be right together, but you know, it makes me smile. And now the aqueous accumulator. I am not entirely sure. Let's just drop this out here and see how quickly it's getting water going pretty quickly just sitting open air. think, though, I will work on making it a little faster. At least I assume this will make it a little faster. In previous versions, if you put some water around it, it would work much faster. So let's try it out. Actually, let's leave that one alone, and we'll put water. Yeah, we'll stick it. We'll stick it there and put water. On both sides, and see if that makes it go any faster. Yeah, it seems faster. All right, now we've got our fluiducts, and it doesn't really have to be hardened, but you know, we just want output to the top. So what we should see, these barrels immediately filled with water. That pulverizer has the output already enabled just by nature of the machine. And look, the clay is already formed. Now, these guys are going to need servos installed to output. And we just enable them, ignore. So when they have solid blocks in them, it'll pull it out. So you can see, yep, the one in the back has pulled out, filled with water. Now it's got clay. Now it's pulled out. Yep. And we've already got 3 clay sitting here. So if I need clay balls for example, bricks, that worked out pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and make some bricks for something I'm going to build later. Okay, so that's that, right? We now have a clay generator. Next up, we need a dirt generator. So this tree chopper is going great. He keeps running through axes, which is probably what you sort of expect from him. I'm going to repair this. And even without doing shearing the leaves, we've got quite a few saplings ready. If we take those out, we've still got 64 sitting in it. And we've got 256 here, and 16 more, right? 57 more. So we should probably start setting up to compost some of those. We've got 174 oak leaves. Let's set up some composting. That would be generally useful. So to do that, it's basically the same system as before. We need a chest to be the input. We've got our servos, we've got our item ducts. Probably not going to need that fluid duct. I will need some barrels. Yeah, these will do. Oh, I'd like a Java barrel right there. So a slab, 8 planks, 7 logs, and a little bit of crafting later, we should have a better barrel. So my goal here, I want this better barrel right here to get my dirt. I don't think I have dirt sitting anywhere else right now. Nope, no dirt there. So let's build it. Actually, just for aesthetics, let's reverse these. This is one of the reasons I really like the dolly, because you can just move it around, just like that. Simple. Alright, we're going to go, can I get through there? No. We'll go over. Alright, so the oak wood's there. We want the dirt to end up there. I did that because I'm going to put my 2 barrels right there. I'm going to put item ducts like that and install the servos there. Great. Uh-oh. Can't get through that way. All the way around the house we go, because I forgot to put the input. So we'll input items there, they'll go into the barrels, be composted, and they'll end up as dirt down there, and the oak wood can just sort of sit there. So for fun, let's pull a stack of that out, toss it in there, and we'll be able to see once we get it right. Some quick harvesting while we're there. Okay, now more item ducts, and we'll install a servo right there. Now, if we're doing it correctly, in just a minute we should see, yep, collecting material. So the material is going to slowly fill up there, and it would fill up faster if we used one of these hardened servos. Right? Its extraction rate, 2 seconds, stack size of 16. This guy's 3 seconds, stack size of 4. So it pulls a stack 50% faster, or 30% faster, and has a stack that's 4 times larger. Anyway, composting, and then this guy is collecting material. So let's see if I need to add another barrel. 50. See if this guy gets done composting about the same time this guy finishes filling, then adding another barrel wouldn't be that effective. Yep. I think that's close enough. I don't think another barrel would be helpful. Alright, last thing, we need to make sure this can't fill up with water, because it will. If you leave it out in the rain, water will get in it, and then you can't compost in a barrel that's partially filled with water. So I'm going to take a few of those, get up here, and build a little roof. I did not get nearly enough material. Let's see. It's going to be easier for me to just climb up. There we go. Alrighty, so we've got dirt generation going slowly. We've got clay generation going. We've got lots more drawers and things over here. And that's good stuff. Let's get those leaves and get them in the composter. You know what, I'm going to get rid of some of this material too. I think the thermal expansion, thermal dynamics things I'll put downstairs, since I do like the idea of having those in the basement. Put the servos, the hardened servos, the filters, the ducting, and the energy conduit down there. Let's put the redstone away. Anything else? Put sticks and covers. I'll put all that stuff away in a minute. How's our clay? We've got 53 clay. That's not bad. And we're totally out of dust. So if I want more clay, I can always output some of that sand and another pulverizer to make more dust. But at this point, kind of okay with it. It's just kind of an excess materials thing right now. I do want to keep an eye on this. None of these barrels have storage upgrades in them right now. So right now, each barrel can hold 4,096 objects, or 64 stacks of 64. And you can see, I've got 9 stacks of flint, almost 10, 5 stacks of bone meal. Right now, nothing's super close to that, but as this runs, it'll get there. These guys will simply back up the system. So, this 38 of sand, when he gets to 64 and can't accept anymore, these machines will just back up, right? This guy won't process anymore until it can clear the output spot. But over here, this machine, if one, let's say iron, gets full, it will back up all the way through this system so that none of the other things can process either. That can be bad. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. When we start getting near there, we'll probably upgrade this whole wall of materials if we're not on a better system by then. But anyway, that's the plan right now. So I'm almost out of lava here. I'm working on lava here. I've got a little bit. Oh, I've got a little bit there because this servo's turned off. So I think that's going to be the next high priority project, is getting more lava generation set up. I'm probably going to build it right here, and then also going to put another magmatic dynamo in, or maybe 2, and kind of see where we go from there. So I'm going to build that real quick. I'd like to finish that this episode, and we're getting close to the end of time. So let me build that and then come back. Okay, we're back. Basically just doubled that system. Added another set of oh, wait a minute, I used hardened servos on one side and regular servos on the other side. I'm not sure if that's a problem or not. I will look into that. It didn't immediately blow up on me, but that may be a problem. I'm not sure. Let me see if it doesn't say anything about temperature there. The fluid ducts show temperate, will break if contents are extremely hot or cold, versus hardened, contents may be in a temperature. The servos do not, so I'm thinking it doesn't matter. I hope it doesn't matter. If it turns out to matter, then I'm going to have a big mess. We'll find out. But at least, well, hopefully I'll eventually have a little bit of excess fluid. The next thing I want to do is build a buffering system here, so I can have some lava in reserve. But to finish up the episode, we've done a lot of crafting around this, and there are 7 quests that have unclaimed rewards. So let's run through that. We've got our aqueous accumulator. Yay! Water infused stone. Is that something we can make? It's a Thaumcraft item. I have no idea if that's good or not. Sure. Let's go for it. And then we've got our automatic sieving. We've got our auto smashing. I think that's it. We've got a few other quests unlocked. Making witch water, making angry dolls to spawn blazes, making precious dolls, which is kind of a base ingredient for those. I'm not sure which doll that is. Then in Sky Farm, Tinker Toys has some available. This is for the smeltery. So we made our smeltery. We got a gear cast. I should have looked at that. Get 2 aluminum brass and a slimy sapling. That will be quite useful. And we want slime balls from that. Got iron. Got copper. Ooh, we're going to get some copper ore from that. And now I need to make bronze. We will start there next time. And we can make steel and a few other things after that. So let's see. Okay, no quest available for completion. We've got a couple things ready to go. Power grid is unlocked now. Wind power. Interesting. This will be fun. I've never played with that before. Solar. It looks like we've actually unlocked everything now. Well, never mind. Nothing in for the hoarding yet. We've got bees and trees and botanical. Oh well, Thaumcraft has quite a few. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Alright, I think that will end this episode. Next time, probably... I've got to figure out why I don't have any squids yet for ink. I keep hoping if I click on this it'll do something useful, and it's just not happening. So I am not entirely sure how I'm going to spawn squid egg to get ink. Because I need... Is it scribing tools that I need? To make a agricultural journal? Right, because I need the agricultural journal to move forward with AgCraft. I need a book and quill, which means I need a feather, which I think I have now. I need a book. And then I've got to get ink somehow. either, I wonder what shadow ink is. The ink sacs I've been, okay, if I can get an umbral rose. Yeah, this is, I'm gonna have to go figure this out because I would really like to be able to proceed with some of the other stuff, but it's just not happening. But anyway, I've got a few things. Let's see what's in this reward bag. A fishing rod. Okay. That's not great, but it's not terrible. It's a Mine Factory Reloaded fishing rod, so yay. Let's go see if anything interesting happens when I try to fish. Ah! That was interesting. I did not know it did that. Okay, I'm going to end the episode because that was just amusing. I did get raw eel and raw char, so dynamite fishing, I guess, works. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.